I'm back. I'm back. The words of Cristiano Ronaldo. The World Cup has officially kicked off. Cristiano Ronaldo with 2 goals for Portugal against Uzbekistan. Welcome to the desk. My name is, of course, Tunde Young. Day 13 of the FIFA World Cup served us excitement. Cristiano Ronaldo roaring into the tournament. 2 goals, a brace. He could have scored the hat-trick, could have scored 4 goals, but he managed a brace in Portugal's 5-0 win against Uzbekistan to kick off their World Cup campaign on the second round of matches. Match 13 of the World Cup also signals the end of the second round of group stage matches, as 14 will now begin the first round of 14 will begin the last round of group stage matches. That's the third and final round of group stage games. We also saw Ghana hold England to a goalless draw, which has led to some immaculate crashing outs from English media. I'll talk about that. Croatia 1-0 win against Panama while men slept. And also while men slept, DR Congo followed their impressive result against Portugal by a depressive result against Colombia, losing by a goal to nil. Daniel Munoz with the only goal of the game, but that game could have ended 4-5-0 in favor of the Colombians. So only one place to start, Cristiano Ronaldo. I told you guys, it was the reports of his demise have been vastly exaggerated. Cristiano Ronaldo is not incapable of performing at the high level. He's no longer as good as he used to be. In fact, I've gone as far as using the words done at the level that he used to be at. But the level that he currently at is now, he has his limitations, but he's still better than Portugal's other options. So this doesn't really surprise me. I'm going to be using this video to take a holistic look at the tournament after everybody has played 2 games so far before we enter into the third round of games. So we'll be doing more of analysis of each group and what to play for in the final round of games. But I have to go over the action of day 13. Great performance. Ronaldo was the man of the match. He seems to have heard everything that was said about him by everybody for the entire week after the performance against DR Congo. There was a lot more movement, not just from him, from the entire team. And that's what I said. Portugal have a world-class team. They didn't perform up to speed against DR Congo. If you want me to believe that Ronaldo is holding this team back, I would actually love to see this team play well and Ronaldo let them down. Then you can then convince me. But against DR Congo, the team did not play well. Against Uzbekistan, maybe the opponents is much easier to play through. But they did play well. They interchanged really well. We saw Nuno Mendes get involved a lot of times. They try to find their striker. So which is what every good team should do. Try to create chances for a striker, even if the striker is Ronaldo. I don't know. But when Ronaldo is involved, people start acting like it's a bad thing to try to create chances for a striker. Anyway, Portugal finally off and running in Group K. So the game against Colombia will determine who tops the group. We will talk about that as I'm giving my permutations for the rest of the World Cup group stages. England, Ghana, impressive result for the Black Stars. Impressive defensive performance. Carlos Queiroz, after picking up a win against Panama, knew that there was no sense to try to win this game against Ghana. They could have, I probably should have won it if they had gotten the penalty that they deserved late in the second half. The penalty was not even given or reviewed. In fact, they said it was offside, that's why they didn't give it. Only to find out the player was well onside. And so that was one of the failings of VAR. Everybody has talked about the fact that should have been a penalty. It should have been a penalty. It is still a penalty. It will forever be a penalty. For a concert stupid tackle, it wasn't given though. But I don't think Queiroz will feel too robbed. 1 point against England, 3 against Panama essentially guarantees them their path into the next round, the round of 32. So the performance against Croatia would determine where they finish in the group. Especially probably if you draw Croatia, you finish second or first, depending on what England play against Panama. I would say that's a great deal for a Ghanaian team that I personally thought were going to finish third. I thought they were going to finish third and not even have enough points to advance as a third place team, because I knew they would beat Panama, but they only beat Panama by goal to nil. So I just thought, you know what, that's as good as it gets. They will get pummeled by England and get beaten by Croatia. Now that I've seen what I've seen, Croatia's performance against Panama, I don't even think Croatia can beat Ghana. Ghana are one of only 4 teams that are yet to concede in this tournament. That is something. That is really something. So I will give Carlos Queiroz a lot of credit. I was one of the critics of his employment in the first place, because I believe that it's unfair to coaches of African origin that qualify their nations for the World Cup and then get fired weeks to the tournament. I really don't like when that happens. I feel like if you qualify your country to the World Cup, except you do something terrible or something happens that clearly justifies a sacking, you should be allowed to coach your team at the World Cup that you qualified for. But Otoado was fired just before the World Cup. Carlos Queiroz came in and is giving them results. 2 games, 2 matches unbeaten, 1 goal scored, 0 conceded. They look good, at least defensively. Not going forward, they don't look good, but defensively, they've been able to get it done. Panama, Croatia, there's nothing to talk about. The Antipudima with the only goal of the game in the second half. Congratulations to Croatia finally getting 3 points on the board. But they still need to play against Ghana, who also have been incentivized to not lose that last game. So we'll find out about that. DR Congo, disappointing. You don't perform like that against Portugal. Yes, maybe Portugal also did not play well, but you don't perform like that against Portugal and then crumble like this against Colombia. They were ran ragged. They could not keep up in midfield, in wide areas. They could not keep up. Colombia was having them every which way and probably should have scored way more than 1 goal. They had 2 goals disallowed. Luis Diaz was a constant threat. I would like to see what that means for Colombia against Dr. Congo. Against Portugal, when they think of Portugal, their performance against DR Congo. Anyway, so that's what happened on match day 13. We'll pay attention to what is going to be happening starting from day 14 of the FIFA World Cup up until day 18. Yes, by day 18, the World Cup group stages will be over and done with. So for day 14, we'll see 6 games, in fact, I beg your pardon, 6 games. Because it's the third group stage game, everybody in the group has to play at the same time to avoid collusion or people doing what is best, people manipulating the results. So each game, the 2 games in each group will happen at the same time. So we have more games than usual, as we've seen at this World Cup. So Group B will play by 8 p.m. Nigerian time tonight. Switzerland versus Canada, that's pretty much the dead rubber game, only to the time we will top the group and we'll finish second. While Bosnia and Qatar take on each other in what could either be one team advancing or mutually assured destruction. A draw essentially knocks both of these teams out because a draw means they both have 2 points. 2 points will not take you through, even as a third place team. I don't think so. But because they both have a point now, a win gives whoever wins 4 points. So 4 points should take you to either second or third. So that's the game I'll be watching by 8 o'clock. Switzerland, Canada is a dead rubber. I'm not interested in that. By 11, we will see Group C in action. Morocco versus Haiti and Scotland versus Brazil. Morocco, Haiti have been knocked out of the tournament, but Morocco needs a win to have a chance to top the group. It will really help their chances if they can finish top of this group. While for Scotland, even though they won their first game against Haiti, 3 points might not be enough to qualify as a third place team. They lost to Scotland. They lost to Morocco. So that might be a problem. So they have to pick up at least a point against Brazil. I think they will do it, actually. I don't see how Brazil will break down the Scottish team. Brazil, in my opinion, have not been good. And Scotland defend doggedly. They only conceded 1 goal against Morocco. I think that Brazil don't have as much quality as Morocco right now. Vinicius Junior aside. So we'll see. Maybe they'll make me eat my words in Group C. And then Group A will wrap us up. Group A will wrap us up by 2 a.m. 2 a.m. South Africa versus South Korea and Czech Republic versus Mexico. So Mexico are already through. Mexico will finish top of this group regardless of what happens tonight. So maybe that will play a part in Czech Republic playing against them. Czech have 1 point. They need to win against Mexico to have a chance of advancing to the next round. That defeat to South Korea in the first game really dented their chances. They had the chance to redeem themselves against South Africa. They did not. They only picked up a point. So now they have to beat the host nation, Mexico. Granted, they might rotate players, so we'll see if that plays a part. For South Africa, I think they will be on their way after this game. I don't see a world where South Africa beats South Korea because that's exactly what they need to do. they need to beat South Korea. South Korea also need a result in this game. At the very least, a draw to take them through. But they need a result because they only have 3 points. They beat Mexico. They beat Czech Republic on the opening day. So things are set up quite tantalizing in Group A, B, and C. We'll find out who goes through where at the end of it all. I can't wait to see how that shakes up. Yeah, so that's what we're looking forward to in terms of permutations. Let me quickly give who I think will qualify for each of the groups that are going to be seen in action tonight. I think my correct score for Switzerland, Canada is going to be a score draw, maybe 1-1, 2-2. That their standings would not. I don't think their standings would particularly change tonight. I don't think so. As it stands, Canada are top of the table on, I believe, goal difference, because you can't use head-to-head because they've not played each other yet. Head-to-head is the primary differentiator, but they've not played each other yet, so we can't really use that. But Canada have held their goal difference, and a draw will keep them at on top of the table. In that one, a draw also assures Switzerland to finish second. So we shall see. We'll see how that works out. In their favor. I think Switzerland are even guaranteed to finish second regardless, except maybe Qatar. Except Qatar beats Bosnia by a ridiculous amount. So I say Group B will end with Qatar top, Switzerland second, and I think Bosnia will be third. I think Bosnia will beat Qatar to advance to the next round. That's what I think will happen. Group A sees Mexico already finishing first in that one. I think that they will not win, but I also don't think they will lose to Czech Republic. That the host nation, they still have something to play for, which is national pride. And again, another thing to consider is because there are so many teams at this World Cup, these games are far apart enough for you to not need to rest players. You play once a week, essentially, once every 6 days or once every 5 days. So you don't really necessarily need to rest players. There's no such thing as a dead rubber game when the maximum you can play is 8 games within a 5-week span. So I'm going to go with Mexico to not lose, but because Czech Republic also needs a result, it's going to end in a draw, in my opinion. Mexico retain their spot at the top. South Korea beats South Africa, and they finish second in that group. I don't think there'll be a third place team coming out of this group. That's my prediction for that one. We'll see if I'm correct. And in Group C, I think Morocco will beat Haiti. Morocco should beat Haiti to seal their place at the top of the group. And I think Brazil-Scotland ends in a draw, whereby Brazil finish second, Scotland also advance as a third place team. So those are my permutations for game day 14 in the FIFA World Cup, the start of match round 3. Who do you think is qualifying from each of these groups? Let me know what you think in the comments. Until I see you tomorrow, thank you very much. Peace.